football game. Opening kickoff, as always, Dan, is presented by Altifiber.
All right, partner, thank you. As we mentioned earlier, the Bengals have played here once previously. That was back in the 2017 season. And there's a history lesson we can take from that season for the opponent, the Minnesota Vikings. That year, their quarterback, Sam Bradford, suffered a knee injury in Week 1. Case Keenum took over and guided the Vikings to the NFC Championship game. They went 13-3. They won the division. They won a playoff game on the memorable Minneapolis Miracle. So if you're looking for reason for optimism, with the Bengals going to be without Joe Burrow for a while, just turn the clock back 8 years. Look a little bit north to Minnesota.
Yeah, that's a great example, Dan. I mean, you can win with backup quarterbacks, and that's what Jake Browning wants to do. Jake Browning wants to have something along the likes of the season that Case Keenum had. Go win a bunch of football games. Won last week's football game, 1-0. Let's see if you can string a few together as this football game is about to get underway. The ball is teed up. The kickoff and kickoff return teams are out on the football field. The Bengals kickoff team, the Vikings kickoff return team.
Miles Price and Ty Felton waiting at the goal line. Nearly 77% of kickoffs have been returned in the first 2 weeks. So the NFL rule change, moving touchbacks out to the 35, is working. Yep. We do have a higher rate of returns, and this kick will be returned by Miles Price. He catches at the 8, charges toward the middle of the field. He's to the 25, the 30, gets lifted off the ground and tackled as he makes it out to the 36-yard line. So a good drive start. Marco Wilson making the tackle for Cincinnati. Good field position for veteran Carson Wentz and the Minnesota Vikings.
And I think the NFL is getting their wish. They wanted the kickoff to become an exciting play again. It had just lost its luster completely. I mean, the fans, they'd leave to go to the bathroom instead of watch the opening kickoff. Not anymore.
Jordan Mason in at running back. Carson Wentz under center on 1st and 10 from the 36. Adam Thielen goes in motion from right to left. Wentz turns left, hands it off. This is Mason trying to get to the sideline. There's a penalty flag on the field. He picked up about 9, but let's see if it's coming back.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a holding call on Darrisaw at the left tackle.
So Christian Darrisaw, who has not played since October of last year after tearing his ACL, in there today, matched up against Trey Hendrickson. We'll see if that flag's on him.
Boy, that's a tough matchup. Your very first game back. Trey Hendrickson, he brings it every snap.
There were 2 fouls during the play, both by the defense. Illegal use of hands to the face. Defense number 23, that penalty is declined. Holding. Defense number 92. That penalty is 5 yards from the end of the play. Automatic first down.
So Dax Hill and BJ Hill, no relation, both called for penalties. The run counts for Jordan Mason. He picked up about 9 and then tack on 5 more for the penalty.
So move the chains 1 snap. You've already got a first down in the books. If you're the Minnesota Vikings, that's going to help a backup quarterback get settled in, even if he has played some football.
The Vikings have it at the Cincinnati 49-yard line. Wentz in the gun. Mason lines up a couple of steps to his left. Justin Jefferson motions. They throw him a screen. Jefferson grabbed by Dax Hill and tackled right away. There's another penalty flag thrown on the play, and it came very late.
It's going to be Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen, he's pontificating with the officials. He's lobbying out there. I thought that he hooked the defensive back and took him to the ground. I thought he absolutely threw his arm around his shoulder pads and took him down.
Dax Hill still made the play.
Yeah.
Personal foul, illegal block below the waist. Defense number 23.
What?
A penalty 15 yards from the end of the play. Automatic first down.
Really? And Zach Taylor just can't believe it. I mean, well, Dax Hill, he didn't touch anybody. Dax Hill never touched Adam Thielen, so there shouldn't have been a penalty called either way. I mean, he lost his balance, went to the ground, no contact. If there is, it was just like a brush by, maybe football jersey to football jersey brush by.
2 plays, 2 penalties.
Crazy.
And just like that, the Vikings have it at the Cincinnati 33. Wentz to throw. His pass caught by Jefferson and tackled at the Bengals' 16-yard line. He threw it between the hash marks. Geno Stone made the tackle.
And Justin Jefferson gets up, whooping a little bit, talking a little bit of trash. He settled between the zone, two safeties, and he makes the catch, protects the football, immediately tucks it, and puts his arms around it, securing that pig boy right up against his body so it can't be dislodged.
17 yards on the throw and catch, and the Vikings are in the red zone at the Cincinnati 17. Wentz under center, Mason 7 yards behind. He takes the snap, play action fake. Wentz gets away from Hendrickson, throws toward the end zone, and misses Adam Thielen. And there is no penalty flag on the field.
Finally.
Josh Newton in coverage.
Man, they let a play happen. They let a play develop and conclude. They got Wentz pressured, stepped up in the pocket, off balance, throws off his right foot as he's climbing the pocket, and just a little bit too much on the football. Thielen made a great diving attempt for it, but could not come up with it.
The Vikings are playing their third game of the year. They have not scored a touchdown in the first 3 quarters of a game yet. 2nd down and 10 from the Cincinnati 17. Wentz catches a shotgun snap, hands it off. Mason up the gut. He's tackled around the 7.5. And it's going to set up a 3rd down situation for Minnesota. They need to get. Check that. He was tackled
12-yard line, yeah.
At the 12. We are on the opposite side of the stadium.
Yeah.
Needs to get to the 7 for a first down, so it's 3rd down and 5.
3rd and 5, even Steven. Who's going to make the play? Will the defense? I mean, you got to make sure that you stuff that run. If it's 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, what do?
Wentz to throw. Good pocket. His pass caught at the 5, and it's a touchdown. As tight end Josh Oliver settled into a window, made the catch, spun around, and cruised into the end zone for a Vikings TD.
Josh Oliver wide open from the tight end position. You know, the Minnesota Vikings have a plethora of wide receivers that can run good routes and get open. They spread the football field in that low red zone, and the tight end was wide. He had all kinds of room in the middle of the football field to operate in, and he got in between safeties and linebacker and made the big play.
Well, it's the 3rd game of the year, and the Bengals' opponent has scored an opening drive touchdown in all 3. The extra point is good, and Minnesota has an early 7-0 lead. And I mean early. Yeah. 2 minutes and 3 seconds into the game. We'll take a timeout. The Bengals about to get the ball for the first time, trailing 7-0 on the Bengals Radio Network.
Roberts Truck Sales is your trusted partner in high-quality pre-owned truck and trailer purchases. With over 50 years of industry experience, we pride ourselves on offering a wide selection of reliable top-brand vehicles. All units are fleet maintained, including sleeper, box, and yard trucks, plus single and tandem day cabs as well as forklifts. View our inventory at robertstrucksales.com and use the map feature to find a location near you. That's robertstrucksales.com to learn more.
Nobody has more all-wheel drive or electrified hybrid choices than Toyota, including the best-selling Camry. It's all hybrid all the time with available all-wheel drive. Now through September 30th, get 4.75 APR financing on any new 25 Camry or lease a Camry LE from just $279 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Want the inside scoop on your Cincinnati Bengals? Get exclusive access to the Bengals Booth podcast, hosted by Dan Horde, the voice of the Bengals. Every week we bring you the latest news, expert analysis, and game recaps you won't hear anywhere else. Hear from Bengals players, coaches, and special guests as we break down every play and key moment of the season. Whether it's post-game breakdowns or insider info, Bengals Booth keeps you in the loop. Don't miss a single episode. Listen to Bengals Booth podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
United Electric has served the tri-state area for more than 60 years. For all your commercial and industrial electrical needs, call Rick Rebholz at 513-383-7547 or visit us online at unitedelec.com.
7-0 Minnesota, roughly 2 minutes into the game. Carson Wentz making NFL history today by starting for his 6th different team in 6 years. And his first drive as the starting quarterback for the Vikings is a great one. 6 plays, 64 yards for a touchdown. 20 of the yards came on a couple of Bengals penalties. The score coming on a touchdown pass to tight end Josh Oliver. Wentz made one start last year for Kansas City. It's the final game of the year, and if you're a Bengals fan, you'll remember it. The Bengals needed the Kansas City backups to beat Denver for the Bengals to go to the playoffs. And with Carson Wentz at quarterback, the Chiefs lost 38-zip. Fairness to him, again, he was guiding the backups in that game as Kansas City rested its starters. Here comes the kickoff, high into the air. It's in the direction of P. Ryan. He catches at the 12. Samaje running toward the middle of the field, and he gets dropped shy of the 25-yard line by former Ohio State Buckeye Jeff Okudah.
Jeff Okudah, man, either beat his block very quickly or somebody just blew a blocking assignment. I mean, he was not deterred whatsoever. That was a big-time hit that he put on P. Ryan.
Orlando Brown Jr., Dylan Fairchild, Ted Karras, Dalton Reisner, and Amarius Mims up front for Cincinnati this afternoon. Jake Browning under center on 1st and 10. The Bengals down early, 7-0. Browning tosses it right. Chase Brown looks for a hole. Not much there. He gets tackled at the 28-yard line.
Watching that play from our vantage point, Dan, 10 of the 11 Minnesota Vikings ran to the football. Nobody was blocked off their feet. I mean, they fell to the ground trying to make a tackle at the end of the play, but nobody was taken off their feet by a blocker. That's not a good sign.
Bernard made the tackle, a 1-yard loss on the play. It is 2nd down and 11 for Cincinnati. Browning in the gun. Quick pass out to the left. It is caught by Chase. T. Higgins tries to block on the edge. And the Vikings make the tackle after either no gain or a 1-yard gain. It's very close to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd down and long.
The first drive for the Minnesota Vikings, a lot of it due to penalty mistakes by the Cincinnati Bengals. They drive the length of the football field, punching in for a 7-0 lead. First drive for the Cincinnati Bengals. They're looking at 3rd and 10. Talking North and South Pole here.
No defensive coordinator in the NFL blitzes more than Brian Flores. We'll see how many he sends after Jake Browning on 3rd down and 10. The Bengals going with a silent count. Browning drops back, looks right, throws, and it's incomplete, intended for Jamar Chase. And it was only thrown about 2 or 3 yards down the field. It would have been well short of a Cincinnati first down. Nickel corner Byron Murphy in coverage.
Brian Flores living true to form, as you mentioned, Dan. His blitz percentage, particularly on 3rd down. I don't think there's a 3rd down that he doesn't bring more than 4. Well, he brought 7 on that one. And the Bengals blocked 6 of them. There was a free runner. Ball was out before a runner could get to quarterback, but ball thrown inaccurately, incomplete.
Ryan Rico will punt, averaging more than 53 yards a punt. He's currently 2nd in the NFL. Back to return, Miles Price. He stands at the 18-yard line. Price waiting. He catches at the 20, right on top of the numerals. Gets a nice block, runs to the 25, and then gets swarmed down in between the 25 and the 26.
51-yard punt with massive hang time. Hell of an effort by Rico.
And 6 yards on the return by Miles Price. We've got a timeout. Vikings will have the ball around their own 25-yard line. When we come back, Minnesota up early, 7-0 here on the Bengals Radio Network.
Tri-State Lincoln buyers. Mike Castrucci Lincoln of Alexandria is your source for all things Lincoln. Choose from an outstanding inventory, including Lincoln Corsair, Lincoln Nautilus, Lincoln Aviator, and the all-new Lincoln Navigator. Check us out at MikeCastrucciLincoln.com. That's Mike Castrucci Lincoln of Alexandria, located 5 miles south of I-275 on US 27 in Alexandria, Kentucky.
While most investors react, sophisticated investors use proactive strategies to stay ahead. I'm Scott Hansen, co-founder of Allworth Financial, telling you that we're pulling back the curtain on some of the most advanced wealth strategies. From buffer ETFs to private market access, our new webinar reveals proactive moves you can make to preserve and grow your wealth. Plus, we'll show you how one $5 million investor integrated these steps successfully. So register your spot today at allworthfinancial.com.
With America's best lineup of hybrids from Hyundai, you get the best of both worlds. Like the reliable and efficient Tucson Hybrid, backed by America's best warranty. The Hyundai Tucson Hybrid. It's the best of both worlds.
Lease a Hyundai Tucson for $239 a month or get 1.99% APR on the Tucson or Tucson Hybrid. Offers end September 30th. Call 224-661-0068 for details.
Tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for Bengals weekly radio shows. Visit Bengals.com/broadcast for date, time, and station.
Fifth Third Better means your hometown bank, partnering with your hometown team, the Cincinnati Bengals. Learn more, visit 53.com/Bengals.
Minnesota 7, Cincinnati nothing. A little less than 4 minutes into the game. The Vikings about to get the ball for the second time with 32-year-old journeyman Carson Wentz at quarterback. Carson is from Bismarck, North Dakota. And the Vikings would be the closest NFL team. He grew up rooting for the Minnesota Vikings. He's got dozens of friends and family members that made the drive to Minneapolis today, about a 400-mile drive. He's under center on 1st and 10 from his own 26. Former 49ers running back Jordan Mason in the backfield. Wentz turns left, gives it to Mason, following the right guard who is pulling, and he makes it out to the 29 for a 3-yard gain.
Carson Wentz has had nothing to do with it, but the Minnesota Vikings, they are -3 in the turnover department. They're even Steven in the fumble ratio. They're -3 in interceptions. So see if the Bengals can turn them over and get a short field. Maybe help the offense that way. Get on track a little bit. They seem to be sleepwalking some.
2nd down and 7. The Vikings at their own 29. The ball is on the left hash mark. Wentz in the gun. Catches a chest-high snap, hands it off to Mason again, and the Bengals pull him down at the 32-yard line. Back-to-back 3-yard runs. 3rd down and 4 coming up. B.J. Hill, one of the coin toss captains, made the stop for Cincinnati.
B.J. Hill's having a fine season for the Cincinnati Bengals. Coaching staff very, very impressed with how he plays the game, how he's advanced his game over the years. Doing a good job for this organization.
Slayton out as the Bengals bring in an extra defensive back on 3rd down and 4. Wentz barked out instructions, and I think one of his teammates flinched on his hard count.
Start. Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
Trey Hendrickson's out there as a defensive end, and you're lined up at left tackle, like Darasaw is, and when Trey Hendrickson kind of flinches a little bit like he's going to burst up the football field, that gives you a little bit of an apprehension, man, a little tendency to flinch yourself, and he did.
Trey is number 1 in the NFL in quarterback pressures through the first 2 games with 14. He's got a couple of sacks. 3rd down and 9 after that penalty. Wentz yelling out, can. That means he's changing the play. Short drop, pump fakes, begins scrambling left.
Finish.
Now reverses direction, and they've got him. Looked like Miles Murphy was there first. Chris Jenkins there as well. So was Demetrius Knight, and the Bengals sack Wentz to force a punt.
Yeah, that was a team sack in every sense of the word. I mean, it seemed like all 4 came simultaneously in terms of an arrival at the quarterback. They showed 5, they blitzed 4 of them, they dropped 1 into coverage, and Wentz couldn't make the read clearly. He could not get a defined look of what was happening, and he ate it and took the sack.
So the Vikings will punt it away. Charlie Jones waiting to return from the 35. Here comes the punt, angled toward the far sideline. Charlie catches at the 38 and looks to run across the field. Now he cuts back in the original direction. He's to the 45, and he gets knocked out of bounds between the 45 and the 50. 43-yard punt, an 8-yard run back by Charlie Jones, and an excellent drive start for Cincinnati. The Bengals will have it at their own 48. When we come back, it's Minnesota 7, Cincinnati nothing. 8:49 left in the quarter on the Bengals Radio Network.
There are lots of ways to make Skyline part of your game plan. You can pregame with friends in 5 ways at your favorite Skyline, or carry out conies to crush during the game. And Skyline is the only place for post-game Cholitos and chili cheese fries. Football, basketball, baseball, or soccer. High school, college, or pro. Doesn't matter. Game time is always a good time for Skyline. So get your game face on and get your Skyline game plan together. Feeling good. It's Skyline time.
From packed stadiums to sold-out shows, Sports Illustrated Tickets puts you at the heart of the action. With over 50 million tickets to sports, concerts, and theater events worldwide, it's your go-to for unforgettable live experiences. Whether it's the 50-yard line, courtside, center stage, or anywhere in between, we've got your seats. Visit sitickets.com or download the app today. Sports Illustrated Tickets. Same seats, better prices. Fans deserve better.
Health insurance companies are expected to carry health benefits, but CareSource does so much more. We look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals to see the challenges that face our members. Then we help them achieve not just better health, but better lives. Along with great benefits, we also help our members find stable jobs, housing, childcare, and rides so they can find greater independence. At CareSource, we're removing barriers. We're improving lives. We're reimagining health insurance.
Gear up like the pros at the Bengals Pro Shop, a Fanatics experience. From jerseys and sideline apparel to hats, accessories, and exclusive team merch, the Bengals Pro Shop has everything you need to rep the orange and black. Visit us on the plaza level at Paycor Stadium's north end zone or shop anytime online at shop.bengals.com. Game day or every day, show your stripes in style with great gear from the Bengals Pro Shop. See us today at shop.bengals.com.
8:49 left first quarter here at US Bank Stadium. Cincinnati trailing 7-0, but the Bengals' second drive of the game will start close to midfield. They have the ball at their own 48. Their first possession was a 3-and-out. Samaje Perine. Now check that. Chase Brown in at running back on 1st and 10 from the 48. The ball's on the left hash. Jake Browning is under center, waiting for the direct snap from Karras. Chase goes in jet motion. They give it to him on an end around. Nice block near the sideline by T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase is very close to a Bengals first down.
Bingo, Dan, good call. I mean, T. Higgins getting it done on the perimeter. 6'4", 220-pounder, 6th-year player. I mean, T. Higgins is physical. T. Higgins loves to block for his teammates. And he got on the edge that time, and he had a good one.
Officially a 9-yard gain, so the Bengals are in Vikings territory. It's 2nd and 1 at the 43, and Browning keeps to get the first down. He takes it forward to the 40-yard line to move the sticks.
Yeah, don't mess around. Just go quarterback sneak. Ted Karras snap the ball, come off the line of scrimmage, and get your pad level low. Knock that nose tackle back. Both guards did a pretty good job of assisting Ted Karras. They kind of wedged it in there.
Bengals have 2 tight ends in the game, Noah Fant and Drew Sample, one on each side of the formation. Browning with a play-action fake. He throws it left, and it is caught. Fant, the tight end, reaches out with the football in both hands and appears to have a 10-yard gain and a first down. Safety Josh Metellus making the tackle.
Yeah, Fant is a big-bodied guy. I mean, he's a big target. It was called a slow block. He blocked at the line of scrimmage for just a second and a half, released the rush guy, got out to the perimeter, made himself an available target, and he ran over Metellus after the catch. 2
first downs so far on this drive. The Bengals have it at the Minnesota 30. Browning spins, hands it off to Chase Brown, lost the ball. He fights for it with Ivan Pace, the former UC Bearcat out of Coleraine High School, and the Bengals recover. Chase Brown got it back.
So that's going to go into the stats as a fumble and fumble recovery, which is good news. Didn't lose possession of the football, but Chase Brown got to wrap that thing up, man. Secure the pig. Don't let them reach in there and rip that football out of your possession.
The Vikings start 2 inside linebackers. They are both former UC Bearcats, Ivan Pace and Eric Wilson. Wilson forced that fumble. Fortunately, Chase Brown recovered his own fumble. Now on 2nd and 10, Browning moving around in the pocket, begins scrambling, throws a terrible throw, and it is intercepted by Isaiah Rodgers. He's sprinting up the sideline into Bengals territory and on his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. 86 yards on the run back by Isaiah Rodgers.
Wow.
Ivan Pace put pressure on Jake Browning. He had Chase Brown open, but he threw it way behind him, right into the waiting arms of Isaiah Rodgers. And from there, it was a sprint of 86 yards in a straight line right down the sideline for the touchdown.
He climbed the pocket, and Pace hit him right as he was delivering the football. He was in his throwing motion, and as a result, Pace altered that throwing motion with that hit.
The extra point by Will Reichert is good. And the Minnesota Vikings are up by 2 touchdowns. We'll take a timeout. 6:08 left here in the first quarter. 14-0 Minnesota on the Bengals Radio Network.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Bengals fans, the jungle awaits. Now's the time to join the Bengals season ticket wait list.
Claim your place on the wait list for just $150 per seat. You'll get first priority to purchase Bengals season tickets when they become available. Plus, get first access to single game tickets and playoff tickets while supplies last.
Some things are worth the wait. Join the season ticket wait list today and rule the jungle with us. Visit Bengals.com or call the Bengals ticket hotline at 513-621-8383.
Great coaches don't get buried in paperwork. They develop players. But many managers spend less than 10% of their time coaching teams. That's why the Cincinnati Bengals leave all things HR to Paycor. Paycor's HR and payroll software handles it all, from recruiting and onboarding to compliance and payroll, so leaders can drive business results. Just like the Bengals coaches here at Paycor Stadium, your manager should be coaching, not switching between disconnected HR systems. Learn more at Paycor.com.
At Kettering Health, we're devoted to you, walking alongside you on your journey to better health. Whether you're battling cancer, overcoming an injury, facing surgery, or just looking for a doctor who truly cares about you, we'll be a shoulder to lean on. We give everything so you can focus on keeping your world turning. Even if the unexpected happens, we're supporting you to be your best. Kettering Health. Find care now at ketteringhealth.org.
Jake Browning had just thrown the first pick six of his NFL career, and the Minnesota Vikings have a 14-0 lead as a result. We have 6:08 left in the first quarter. Jake Browning overcame 3 interceptions last week to lead the Bengals to a victory, and he's going to have to try to rally them from 14 down today.
Boy, a pick six is a tough deal, tough dynamic. Ivan Pace gets the hit as he's in his throwing motion. Harrison Smith deflects it, tips the football, and as a result, changes the direction of the football, changes the revolution of the football. It's picked off by the Minnesota Vikings, and off to the races they go for a touchdown. Huge play by a pressure man, huge play by a secondary member.
Reichert kicks it to Charlie Jones. He starts from the 3, trying to get to the near sideline, and he's tackled around the 25-yard line. Bengals started their last drive close to midfield. They had it down to the 30 of Minnesota before Browning threw the pick six, officially 87 yards on the run back. Now we'll see if the Bengals can drive 75 yards and get on the scoreboard, trailing 14-0.
Well, Harrison Smith, coaches around the NFL, I've heard many coaches around the NFL talk about his football IQ, his football awareness. It was in full display on that snap.
He's a 6-time Pro Bowler in his 14th NFL season. The Bengals line up in a pistol formation on 1st and 10 from their own 25. They run left. And Javon Hargrave tackles Chase Brown after running for a 2-yard gain to the 27-yard line.
They brought Metellus, the safety, off the edge, a run blitz. I mean, unblocked off that edge, just slamming down the line of scrimmage right to behind the center to be involved and make that play. So it's not a big surprise. The Minnesota Vikings are being aggressive defensively.
T. Higgins out to the left, Jamar Chase and Andre Yossi-Vash out to the right. Browning in the gun on 2nd and 8 from his own 27. He hands it off, and Chase Brown will barely make it back to the line of scrimmage. Bengals came into this game last in the NFL in rushing yards. They don't even have 100 through 2 weeks, and the running game is not going very successfully so far today.
You don't want to fall down 14 points to any defensive coordinator in the National Football League in the first quarter like the Bengals have. But in particular, you don't want to Brian Flores. He has a myriad of blitzes that he's going to be able to utilize, and he's going to bring them all. 3rd down and 8. Browning touches both sides of his helmet. Bengals going with a silent count. The right guard, Reisner, looks back, then taps the center. Ted Karras. Browning in trouble, got away from one possible sack, but Van Ginkel will make the sack for a significant loss. Back to the 18-yard line, a 9-yard sack, and it's a 3-and-out for Cincinnati. Brian Flores brought a lot of people up to the line of scrimmage like he was going to blitz. Then he dropped them all off into coverage, and he just rushed 3 down linemen, and they made the play. They were a little bit of a stunt up front. They get after it, and man, the Bengals could not pick up that stunt. A little ET-TE crossing going on. Grenard almost had Browning. Then Van Ginkel polished him off. They both had double-digit sacks a year ago. Here comes the punt from Rico. This one in the middle of the field. It is fielded at the 27 by Price. Has blockers in front. Runs to the 40. And the long snapper, Will Wagner, will make the tackle around the 43-yard line. The Bengals have to do something, Dan, to get back in this football game. This game's starting to get out of control. Vikings have great field position, up 14 points. We have a timeout with 3:46 left in the first quarter. The Vikings will have the ball at their own 43 when we come back, up by 2 touchdowns on the Bengals Radio Network.
Gear up like the pros at the Bengals Pro Shop, a Fanatics experience. From jerseys and sideline apparel to hats, accessories, and exclusive team merch, the Bengals Pro Shop has everything you need to rep the orange and black. Visit us on the plaza level at Paycor Stadium's north end zone, or shop anytime online at shop.bengals.com. Game day or every day, show your stripes in style with great gear from the Bengals Pro Shop. See us today at shop.bengals.com.
This is Tanya Wilmus from Delta Dental of Ohio. Our mission is to improve oral health. We achieve this through our wide range of benefit plans, advocacy in the policy arena, and active engagement in the communities where we do business. We couldn't do it without our dedicated participating dentists who go above and beyond to provide top quality care for our members. Together with our network dentists, we are building healthy, smart, vibrant communities, one smile at a time.
Get to Miami Valley Gaming on Saturday, August 30th for a chance to win a Mercedes or $45,000.
Must be 21. Ohio Problem Gambling Helpline, 1-800-589-9966 or visit org.ohio.gov. Ready to take a break? Visit timeoutohio.com.
This season's biggest catch? Jamar Chase right on the front of Lucky Charms cereal. But hurry, limited edition boxes of Lucky Charms and other favorites like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Honey Nut Cheerios, and Reese's Puff cereal won't last. Score them all at your local retailer.
Looking for the best internet service? Alta Fiber is the top-rated internet provider in Cincinnati, according to Ookla's speed test results. With speeds up to 3 gig and 99.99% network reliability, Alta Fiber is the easy choice. Don't settle for anything less than the best. For a limited time, get $50 off your first month when you bundle fiber internet and Fioptics Plus TV service for just $30 a month each. Sign up today at altafiber.com.
So far, so good for Carson Wentz and the Minnesota Vikings. They have a 14-0 lead, 3:46 remaining first quarter. Minnesota's ball at its own 43. Vikings coming off a season that saw them go 14-3 a year ago, but they lost the home playoff game to the Rams. Sam Darnold did not perform well in that game. They let him go as a free agent at the end of the year. Jordan Mason is the running back on 1st and 10 from the 43. Jefferson out to the right. Wentz fakes a handoff. Wants to throw. Has all day. Now he'll be sacked. Pump faked a couple of times. And the Bengals eventually get him and bring him down at the 38-yard line.
Is that Joseph Osai?
It was. Joseph Osai first, and Demetrius Knight eventually joined him.
Yeah, Joseph Osai just showing patience. Up the field rush, comes underneath. Well, that held that ball a long time. If I'm an offensive lineman, I'm coming back in the huddle and saying, hey, bro, how about getting rid of that bad boy? I mean, the protection, 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, get it out of your hand. It was 1,004 plus.
That's the second sack for Cincinnati, the first of the year for Joseph Osai. A 5-yard loss on the play. 2nd and 15. Here's a screen out to the right, caught near the sideline, and Jalen Naylor will be shoved out of bounds after picking up about 2.5 yards. It'll be 3rd down and long for Minnesota.
Now you got to get off the football field. I mean, you've been thoroughly outplayed here in the first quarter. There's less than 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, and you barely had the football. When you've had the football, you have not done a damn thing with it. And defensively, you've given up long drives, multiple play drives. The Vikings have total control of this game right now.
3rd down and 7. The Vikings at their own 46. Wentz in the gun. Mason off his right hip. Jefferson, the widest receiver, out to the left. Wentz to throw. Begins scrambling left. Pump fakes. Tries to run for the first down. Chased down by Miles Murphy, who makes the tackle well short of the sticks.
Another athletic defensive end in space. Miles Murphy, size-speed ratio shows up there. I mean, this guy's a big-body guy that can run, man. He accelerated and just outran Carson Wentz.
So Miles Murphy, who was in on a previous sack, although I think it was credited to Chris Jenkins, made a nice play there to force the punt. Here it comes from Ryan Wright. Charlie Jones calling for a fair catch, and he grabs it against his chest at the 7-yard line. A 47-yard punt, no return, and a long field for Jake Browning and the Bengals offense with 1:39 left in the first quarter.
He had to fair catch it at the 7-yard line, because if he didn't, it could have gone out the 1 or 2 yard line. It was a coffin corner extraordinaire, and he cut off about 5 yards of field position that the Bengals now don't have to worry about accumulating as an offense.
Vikings have scored twice, once on offense, once on defense. A 12-yard pass from Carson Wentz to the tight end Josh Oliver, and an 87-yard pick six by Isaiah Rodgers, who signed as a free agent with the Vikings prior to this year. He won a Super Bowl ring last year with Philadelphia. It's going to get very noisy with the Bengals deep in their own territory. 1st and 10 from their own 7-yard line. Andre Yosivas goes in motion. Browning is under center, takes the snap, hands it off to Chase Brown. He will not get back to the line of scrimmage. The Bengals offense is getting punished on these running plays.
Yeah, it really is, and it's a kind of a stagnant running game in terms of formation. I mean, they line up in a formation and run the football, and the reason for that is crowd noise. You know, if you start doing too much motion and formation and shifting and motioning from one side of the formation to the other, the crowd noise gets worse and worse and worse, and the chances for a penalty increase.
7 runs for a total of 12 yards for the Bengals, and nearly all of that yardage came on an end around by Jamar Chase. Browning in the end zone shovels it in the general direction of Drew Sample to avoid a safety. Browning couldn't find an open target, and the Bengals are 3rd and 12 from their own 5.
Yeah, I mean, Byron Murphy Jr. was the closest receiver to the football. You know, and you don't want to throw it to a different colored jersey, but he was just backhanding, shovel passing the thing past the line of scrimmage to make sure it's a legal forward pass and incomplete.
Chase goes out wide to the left. T. Higgins out to the right. Browning standing on the white stripe in the end zone. 3rd and 12 from his own 5. The Bengals try to run for the first down. Samaje Perine might have it.
That quieted the crowd. Boy, it got quiet quickly. That was just a power run from Samaje Perine. Man, this guy is well put together now.
So it looks like it's a little bit short, about the length of the football short of the first down, based on the superimposed yellow first down line that they use on TV.
Boy, Samaje Perine, he moved that pile now. He doesn't go down easily. And when he does go down, even though there's about 6 or 7 Minnesota Vikings trying to take him backwards, he pushes everything forward. I mean, he's got tremendous leg drive. He's a very, very strong individual.
The NFL has the ability now, with cameras in the stadium and a chip in the ball, to determine if the placement of the ball was accurate. The Bengals are hoping they inch it forward a little bit and give Cincinnati a first down. Doubt they would go for it, as close as it is to being a first down this deep in their own territory. Although in this day and age, you never know.
You never know. But I know I'd be apprehensive. I mean, if it didn't work out, talking about the short field, you got the shortest of short fields. I'm hoping that this when they mark the football after the timeout, that it's a first down.
Right now it's 4th and less than a yard. The Bengals at their own 17. The ball is close to the 18. And the Bengals again are hoping it gets a little closer to the 18 for a first down when this is reviewed from every angle.
Zach Taylor and the Bengals Brain Trust, Dan Pitcher and company, they're talking it over here during this timeout. The best way to attack this Minnesota Viking defense, led by Brian Flores. He, of course, is talking on his end of it with his people as well. Linebacker coach, secondary coach. All right, I'm thinking about this blitz. What kind of coverage can we run behind it? How many coverage options do we have if we execute this particular blitz? And the Bengals are thinking about what's Brian Flores and his staff thinking, and how can we counter that? How can we stay a step ahead of what Brian Flores is trying to do on the defensive side of things?
And this is not a replay review in the sense of where they're going by TV replays. This is ball technology based on cameras around the stadium and the chip in the ball. It's almost like an MRI, if you can picture that.
Right.
So they can find exactly where it was.
After the virtual measurement, it is short of the line to gain. It's 4th down.
So you heard the announcement from Ron Torbert. It is not a first down. If the offense stays on the field, we'll see if they actually snap it. Well, they've just thrown the red challenge flag. So they didn't like the virtual measurement. They want a traditional TV replay and see if that moves the ball forward. Probably worth the risk.
Yeah, when Zach Taylor looked at the big screen and saw the replay.
Cincinnati has challenged the ruling on the field that the runner was short of the line to gain. The play is under further review.
Well, this play's taking forever. The technology with the chip, to place the football took a while, and now their official review here. If I'm Zach Taylor looking at the replay like he did, I mean, Samaje Perine is forcefully taking the ball forward, not down. He's not down whatsoever. Big time body lean. He's still up, and the ball is crossing the plane of the first down marker, that orange line, big time. I think it's worth the risk.
If it doesn't work, you lose a timeout in the first quarter. You lose a replay challenge, but again, it's 33 seconds to go in the first quarter. You're down 14-0. You roll the dice. Maybe it changes it. Yeah. Although it's my impression, Lap, that virtual measurement should be more accurate than a traditional TV replay.
That's what the hope is. That's what the league is always trying to improve the technology, and supposedly that's an improved technology over the instant replay technology. But I think Zach's thinking too. If we punt this football away, there's only 33 seconds to go in the quarter, and if they play ball possession keep away to start the second quarter for another 5 or 6 minutes, man. If they put points up on the board, we're down 3 scores, and we only got about 5 minutes to work with the football before it's halftime. we're in trouble.
After reviewing the play, when the runner's shin hit the ground, the ball was at the line to gain. It'll be a first down for Cincinnati. Cincinnati will not be charged with a timeout. They have earned a third challenge for the game.
Now you got to take advantage. You know, it worked out. It was the reward was high enough that the risk was, all right, let's take a chance. Let's take the risk. And it paid off.
That's one heck of a replay challenge that works, and credit Samaje Perine for a 12-yard gain on 3rd and 12 from his own 5. So the Bengals have a first down. Ball just past the 17. They line up in a pistol. Browning catches, turns left, fakes a handoff, bootleg slightly to the right, gets rid of it before being hit. Shot putted it forward for a catch to Noah Fant. He's tackled at the 21-yard line. 4 yards on the play. Eric Wilson making the tackle.
You know, that snap right there gives me a little ray of hope if I'm Zach Taylor, Dan Pitcher, and the Bengals offensive coaches. I mean, you're not getting overpowered. It's not a physical mismatch. You can line up and play physical football with the Minnesota Vikings. You just did on that snap.
Ivan Pace hitting Jake Browning on the play, but he got the ball forward to Fant for officially a 3-yard gain. The first quarter has come to an end. At the end of one, Minnesota 14, Cincinnati nothing here on the Bengals Radio Network.
Fall means football, and at Postman Law, we know winning matters. Our attorneys have won more than $3 billion for our clients, delivering the results they need when life gets tough. Car crash, workplace injury, serious accident. We know the insurance company's playbook, and we're here to help rewrite it for you with speed, ease, and results. Call 844-POSTMAN or visit postmanlaw.com. Others promise. Postman delivers. This is attorney advertising. Autumn is upon us at Ralph's American Grill. Start this fall season with a spiced apple cider mule or enjoy a fresh pumpkin white Russian cocktail. We're also featuring classic comfort food specials like country fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and gravy. Think you have what it takes to conquer the Big Rig Challenge? Only the hardiest of eaters can finish this fresh 6-patty burger with loaded fries and a handcrafted milkshake. Visit ralphsgrill.com for our full lineup of autumn events. That's ralphsgrill.com to learn more.
Gear up like the pros at the Bengals Pro Shop, a Fanatics experience. From jerseys and sideline apparel to hats, accessories, and exclusive team merch, the Bengals Pro Shop has everything you need to rep the orange and black. Visit us on the plaza level at Paycor Stadium's north end zone or shop anytime online at shop.bengals.com. Game day or every day, show your stripes in style with great gear from the Bengals Pro Shop. See us today at shop.bengals.com.
United Electric has served the tri-state area for more than 60 years. For all your commercial and industrial electrical needs, call Rick Rebholz at 513-383-7547 or visit us online at unitedeldc.com.
Watch your Bengals this season on the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus. 1 quarter in the books here in Minnesota. The Vikings lead the Bengals 14-0. It is also 14-0 in New England, where the Pittsburgh Steelers have jumped in front by a pair of TDs over the Patriots. Aaron Rodgers with a touchdown pass in that game. The Bengals have the ball at their own 20. It is 2nd and 7. Samaje Perine in at running back, and the Bengals have 2 tight ends, both on the left side of the formation. Browning fakes a handoff from the pocket, has to scramble and throw it out of bounds as he's taken to the ground by veteran Jonathan Allen.
That's just a really good pass rush by a great football player, Jonathan Allen, man. He got up the football field on an outside speed rush. And he can do that as well as anybody. He's done it for a long time, and he still hasn't lost a step. He's immensely quick at the snap.
His name is Mud in Bengals history because he's the guy that injured Joe Burrow back in 2020 when he crashed into his left leg. 3rd down and 7. The noise level deafening here at US Bank Stadium. Shotgun snap. Browning well protected this time, and he spots Chase wide open for a first down catch. Out to the 35-yard line. Okudah, the former 3rd pick in the draft, in coverage. Chase spun him around, and Browning delivered a good throw.
Well, he did. Chase ran a great route. I mean, he down the football field, could cut either way, inside across the field or to the sideline.
Coming back.
10-yard penalty. Third down.
Holding on the Bengals. And that wipes out a pretty throw to Jamar Chase.
I think they called the rookie Fairchild for a holding inside. And he's got an arm around the neck. That's no can do. That's not allowed. You can't. If you get beaten to the inside, you can't wrap your arm around the chest neck area and put a headlock on a defensive lineman.
Instead of having it 1st and 10 at the 35, it is 3rd and 17. The Bengals at their own 10. Chase and Higgins both out to the left. They hand it off. Samaje Perine taken down after a 1-yard gain by Eric Wilson.
Well, they pulled their horns in there. They didn't want to take a chance on turning the football over with such poor field position. And they have a first down nullified by penalty. They feel like, okay, all the momentum's with the Minnesota Vikings. Let's make sure we don't turn this thing over and give them a short field and lose total control of this football game. Let's punt it away, see if we can play field position.
Rico waits for the long snap about 3 yards deep in the end zone. Miles Price looking to return from the Minnesota 38-yard line. Wagner about to snap it back. The snap is chest high, the right-footed punt, a shank. Boy, I don't know that we've ever called a Ryan Rico shank. That was off the right side of his foot, headed straight for the Bengals bench, and it's going to give the Vikings a great drive start at the Cincinnati 46-yard line.
Boy, when it rains, it pours. You know, if the offense is struggling, you hope defense steps up. If offense and defense are struggling, you hope special teams step up. Right now, all three phases of the Cincinnati Bengals are not playing winning football.
By shank standards, it wasn't that bad.
Right.
31 yards, but still, that's not what we've come to expect from Ryan Rico, who's had a punt of more than 60 in each of the first 2 weeks. This time, about half that. And Minnesota will have the ball in Bengals territory at the 43. The scoreboard shows 46, but they spotted at the 43.
Let's see if the Bengals defense can get something done here. The best thing would be a takeaway. That would be optimum if the Cincinnati Bengals can force a Minnesota Viking turnover.
Bengals have 4 interceptions in the first 2 weeks of the season, one off the NFL lead. Wentz under center on 1st and 10. Jordan Mason in at running back from the Cincinnati 43. Here's a toss sweep to the right. Mason looks for a cutback lane, finds one, and gets tackled by Jordan Battle after a gain of 9. Running between the hash marks and the numerals down to the 34.
Did a great job right there at keeping his shoulder pads squared up to the line of scrimmage. And he when he turned that ball up the football field between the tackles, he was a force.
Mason picked up prior to the season from San Fran for a 6th-round pick. They give it to him again. He'll get the first down, but not much more on 2nd down and 1. Picked up a couple. TJ Slayton makes the tackle, but it is a Minnesota first down.
Now the Minnesota Vikings seem to be going to that ground game and trying to take the heart and soul out of the Cincinnati Bengals defense. The Minnesota Vikings want to put them in the old cement mixer and just get after them and turn them upside down.
Sample, Hill, Slayton, and Hendrickson make up the front 4 for Cincinnati. Wentz in the shotgun now. 1st and 10 in Bengals territory. Wentz looking left, throws a screen. It is caught. Running to the 30, 25, 20. Geno Stone tackles Xavier Scott. His first touch of the game. And he's got a first down. There's a penalty flag down around the 27. Scott was tackled around the 21.
Illegal block in the back by the offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Well, that's a costly penalty. Will Freeze. That one brings back a positive play and puts the Minnesota Vikings in a different down and distance situation for sure.
Xavier Scott, who handled the ball there, is out of the University of Maine. The best football player to play for the Black Bears since Roger Lapple.
Big Roger. Roger the Dodger. played both basketball and football at University of Maine, the Black Bears. He's a proud Black Bear, my man.
And he's a Hall of Famer mostly for his hoops, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. When he graduated, he was second all-time leading scorer at University of Maine. He had a brilliant career up there. And, yeah, he'd score points for you, and he'd rebound, too. And he was redhead, Rogers redhead, and Dave Collins was his hero, his childhood hero. And he played the game of basketball from very physical nature, like Dave Collins approached it.
Your brother Roger with the distinction of being drafted in both the NFL draft and the NBA draft. Pretty incredible.
It really is.
Shotgun snap to Wentz. Quick pass. Caught over the middle by Hawkinson, the tight end. And he will be gang tackled by about 5 Bengals at the 26-yard line.
We were just talking about tight end. My brother playing that position. Hawkinson runs a nice little option route in the middle of the football field, catches it, secures it, turns to get up the football field and get as many yards as he possibly can. Very physical play. Answered the bell on that snap big time.
13 yards on the play after the penalty on the previous snap. It's now 2nd down and 5 at the Cincinnati 26. 11:45 left in the half. Minnesota leading 14-0. Wentz hands it off.
Nice.
It's a run up the middle. Logan Wilson will make the tackle short of the first down at the 23. Xavier Scott on the carry. 3rd down and 2 coming up for Minnesota.
Yeah, Logan Wilson, when he reads it and he comes downhill, he's about as good as there is. I mean, you can feel him when he comes downhill between the 2 guards, in the A gaps between the center and guard and right up the gut to the center. I mean, he patrols that area fiercely.
Vikings will go with an empty backfield, at least initially, on 3rd down and 2. Now they move a running back into the backfield. Carson Wentz catches the shotgun snap. It's a zone read handoff, and it's a Minnesota first down. They needed 2. They got about 2.5. Scott with the run, and that moves the sticks for Minnesota.
Scott said, I had a very physical play that was taken away, but I'm going to get this important first down. Because now we're in the red zone. We're in the shadow of the red zone. We're inside the 22-yard line. It's important to get a fresh set of downs here and wear this defense down. Maybe they'll get a little bit fatigued in that scoring zone.
Trey Hendrickson with the tackle on the previous play. Scott is out. Jordan Mason is in at running back. Jefferson goes in motion as Wentz fakes a handoff, pump fakes right, throws downfield, and throws it out of bounds in the general vicinity of Hawkinson. Josh Newton in coverage. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, you got to feel that was just a ball that he threw away. He's like, I don't want to put this in jeopardy. Pressure is significant, but not earth-shattering like it has been with some of his snaps in the pocket. He couldn't really transfer his weight, take his stride toward the line of scrimmage and transfer that weight.
Wentz 5 for 7 thus far. He has a touchdown pass in the game. It is 14-0 Vikings on 2nd down and 10. Hawkinson motions to the right. Wentz hands it off right up the middle, and Mason will get tackled by Battle. And B.J. Hill at the 18-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 6.
B.J. Hill hit him low, and then he was hit high as well by Battle. A little high-low shot right there.
3rd and 6.
It's 3rd and 6. These are the downs that the defense has to get done. Defense has to get off the football field right now. Limit this to nothing more than a field goal opportunity.
9:36 left in the half. The Vikings up by 2 TDs. Wentz says can to change the play as he waits for a shotgun snap. Safety blitz coming. Wentz throws, nearly intercepted. It was thrown behind Jalen Naylor, and on the ricochet, Jordan Battle almost had his 3rd interception in the first 3 weeks of the year. It will force a field goal try.
He sure did. But like you called it, Dan, as you were describing the play, Al Golden said, I'm heating it up. I'm bringing a safety. And that unblocked safety hurried Carson Wentz. It was to his backside, his blind side, but he saw him out of the corner of his eye, and he had to get rid of that football. He was unceremoniously dumped by that safety blitzer right as he delivered the football.
This will be a 35-yard attempt for Reichard. He has made all 4 of his field goal attempts this season. And Reichert is now 5 for 5. We'll take a timeout. 9:20 left in the half. Minnesota 17. Cincinnati nothing on the Bengals Radio Network.
It's doing the little things right and attention to quality to make us the right choice to work on your home. Not just covering your old shingles with new. The continued quality of our work is what you deserve.
Ray St. Clair Roofing. AE Door is the Tri-State's choice for garage doors, openers, entry doors, awnings, and windows.
Our end of summer sale has huge savings